Travel consideration provided by...
With so many choices, how do you pick the right dog food? Well, you want real meat to be the first ingredient. And you probably don't want things like chicken byproduct meal or whole grain corn. That makes the choice pretty easy. Blue Buffalo. Pick up Blue wherever you buy pet food.
Smoking damaged my heart. Now I have a battery-operated heart pump. My tip is, stop thinking this can only happen when you get old. My heart failure happened at 38.
You can quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication.
Tomorrow on ET, Jenna Jameson's mystery health crisis.
I lost my ability to walk.
After nearly dying, then breaking out of the hospital, the former adult film star's condition today.
Be sure and check that one out. Now, there's one more thing for us to show you before we say goodnight. Bye, everyone.
Come on down.
He was the ultimate pro game show host. This guy will never be replaced or equal. It's kind of crazy how good he was and how smooth he was.
Drew Carey is speaking for the first time about the passing of his mentor and beloved friend.
Happening now.
I'm Dylan Collier. Coming up, we're hearing for the first time from some of those officers who were fired at by Jesse Garcia, that defendant who is now being held without bond ahead of trial.
Researchers now warning of a new synthetic drug that is 10 times more powerful than fentanyl. Why it may take more than one dose of Narcan to save your life.
It's nice to see a few showers on the radar screen. We'll take a close look at those and an update on what's left of Adalia. The News at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, parts of the city shut down as police investigate a shootout between a suspect wanted on a number of felony warrants and police officers who were trying to take him in. The bullets started flying and they took out the suspect, but also hit an officer as well as potentially passersby on the highway.
And a section of I-10 at South New Braunfels at a standstill in both directions for several hours today, and I-10 at Highway 90 closed in both directions as officers continue to clear the scene there. But this all started in another location on the east side.
Patty Santos covering this story on the air and online since hitting the scene after 3 this afternoon. Patty.
Yeah, this is an incredibly large crime scene, but take a look at these yellow markers. Each one of those yellow markers here on the frontage road is a shell casing. And as you said, I-10 is still closed right now. But here's what we know. A police officer is in the hospital and a suspect is dead after a shootout right in the middle of the interstate. Now, police tell us the 40-year-old man was in the gray car as officers with the street crimes unit were after him. The car chase ended here on I-10 in New Braunfels when he crashed into another SUV and a police cruiser, but he kept running. He was wanted on a felony warrants, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and assault on an officer. Police say as he ran, he started shooting at officers and ran down towards I-10. Police say the suspect continued shooting, including at some of the vehicles on the interstate in an attempt to carjack them. He continued to fire at officers. That's when officers opened fire, killing him. The police chief frustrated tonight, saying this suspect should not have been out on the streets, given his criminal history.
I remain concerned about people who are on the street who should be in jail because they are habitual offenders, especially the violent crime habitual offenders, which this individual was.
And tonight there was a woman inside the vehicle with the suspect. She has been taken into custody. At this point, we are still waiting to find out the identity of the man involved in this shooting. We'll send it back to you right now.
All right, Patty, we'll continue to learn more from you as you stay on the scene. Now, as you just heard, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus says something needs to happen now to keep repeat offenders from being released back onto the streets. While talking to the media about this deadly shooting, he referenced last week's shooting of 3 of his officers.
And McManus isn't the only one calling for action from the district attorney's office. Members of the San Antonio Police Association also saying enough is enough. Danny Diaz, the president of the association, issuing a statement calling for accountability from the DA's office.
It reads in part, quote, "How many more repeat offenders will it take for District Attorney Joe Gonzalez to follow the laws to prevent these felons from causing more harm?"
It goes on to say selective processes for criminal cases have proven to be negligent and are creating an unsafe environment for our citizens. If the citizens of San Antonio voted an individual into office, we should hold them accountable when they fail to protect our city, end quote. We have reached out to the DA's office to get a response to this.
Again, one of those situations happened just last Thursday, and today the man accused of shooting those San Antonio police officers with a semi-automatic rifle last week has been ordered to be held in jail now without bond.
His bail on 4 previous cases was also revoked today. Investigators say 28-year-old Jesse Garcia repeatedly fired upon San Antonio police, kidnapped someone, stole their vehicle, and caused a dangerous standoff that shut down a part of the city. Our Dylan Collier in court as officers described that rampage that began once again with officers attempting a felony warrant arrest.
Jesse Garcia was handcuffed and shackled and dressed in a red jumpsuit, signifying that he's being kept in protective custody. He interrupted today's hearing briefly before sitting quietly as 2 San Antonio police officers took the witness stand. SWAT officer Adam Rule said Garcia was a passenger in a Mitsubishi that fled from officers toward Highway 90 as they tried to take him into custody Thursday evening. Garcia, according to testimony, fired through the back window of the car, striking Rule and his partner, Officer Rhett Shoquist.
The window blew out, glass blew towards my forearm, and the round sheared down and got stuck in my forearm right here at the top.
Shoquist, who was driving a marked patrol vehicle, was shot in the head.
Grabbed off her medical aid immediately or he would have died.
Another officer testified that Garcia continued to fire the AR-15 at police along Westward Drive after ditching a pickup truck he had stolen, shooting equipment off the officer's uniform. SAPD officer Raul Chavez was struck multiple times. Judge Joel Perez, citing the safety of the community, then remanded Garcia without bond on unrelated cases of evading arrest, being a felon in possession of a firearm, unauthorized use of a vehicle, and drug possession. The last 2 cases still awaiting indictment more than 11 months after Garcia was first charged with the offenses.
The actions of this defendant are not okay and will be handled accordingly.
It's been nearly a week since this violent encounter with police, and questions still remain about why Garcia was even free on bond during these shootings.
What about the 2 cases from September of 2022? Has the DA's office been able to pinpoint why he had not been indicted nearly a year later?
Yeah, we have no comment on that at this time, but we're looking into it.
Officers Shoquist and Chavez are out of the hospital and continue to recover from their injuries. At the Bexar County Justice Center, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
All right, some residents in Live Oak are confused, frustrated, and seeking answers after a water pipe break is now on its 5th consecutive day. The people who live in that neighborhood in Live Oak say they first noticed the rupture on Saturday morning. They tell us numerous calls were made to the city of Live Oak and SAWS, and even their fire department. Nothing had been done, so they contacted us here at KSAT.
And then we called the Live Oak City Hall, and we also called Live Oak. And they said they're not responsible for it. So then they called SAWS. They said SAWS is supposed to be responsible for it. SAWS says no, it's Live Oak.
All right, our Jonathan Cotto talked to those residents as well as representatives from the city of Live Oak. We will have his full report on that situation for you tonight at 6.
A woman on the run for 8 months for allegedly abusing a disabled patient. She's now in police custody, accused of beating and kicking an intellectually disabled patient at the San Antonio State Supported Living Center. And that attack was caught on video. San Antonio police say that they've been looking for 54-year-old Natalia Gomez since December. She was a caretaker at that facility, and according to police records, cameras inside the facility on South New Braunfels Avenue caught Gomez kicking the woman in the face. Documents also reveal Gomez allegedly attacked the victim with the help of another resident, who is also disabled. A witness told us that the attack happened later and that the police say they identified Gomez from the video. She reportedly was angry with the victim for disobeying her. Gomez arrested yesterday but is currently out on bond. She has been fired from that state living facility.
Turning our attention to a big weather story today. Adalia hit along Florida's Big Bend Gulf Coast early this morning as a Category 3 hurricane. Those winds gusting up to 120 miles per hour in some parts.
Adalia flooding the streets, toppling trees, causing power outages for hundreds of thousands of people. ABC's Ike Ajachi in the storm zone in Tampa with an up-close look at the mess left behind.
Adalia making landfall along Florida's Big Bend as a Category 3 hurricane. The storm bringing life-threatening storm surge and other catastrophic impacts along the state's western coast. The National Hurricane Center says the storm briefly strengthened to a Category 4 before weakening as it made landfall around 7:45 Wednesday morning near Keaton Beach. Adalia bringing with it powerful winds clocking in at 125 miles per hour. In Perry, Florida, those strong winds snapping trees in half. In this video, you can see collapsed fences and downed trees blocking roads. In Tampa, Adalia's storm surge causing all kinds of debris to wash up along the shoreline. And in Clearwater, the streets underwater. Officials there telling residents who ignored the mandatory evacuation orders to limit their water use due to severe flooding straining the city's stormwater system. Governor Ron DeSantis confirming the storm knocked out power to hundreds of thousands.
Utility workers are actively working to restore power in all affected areas, and they have started doing that as soon as it was safe to do so. The storm battering the barrier island of Cedar Key. A resident who wrote out the storm there estimating 50% of structures are underwater.
It looks like our entire downtown commercial district is underwater. We have no commercial buildings that aren't almost entirely inundated.
Officials say residents there could see up to 13 feet of storm surge, warning that the danger isn't over.
From fallen trees, from down power lines, standing water, you don't know what could be in those waters.
This as Adalia sets its sights on Georgia and South Carolina, facing their own threats of flash flooding and high winds.
Tampa's International Airport is now open for arrivals only, and officials say full operations should begin by 3 a.m. Thursday morning. And as of now, Governor Ron DeSantis says there have been no confirmed deaths. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Tampa.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll look at the power outages across not just Florida, but even Georgia and South Carolina. But I want to give you the latest on Tropical Storm Adalia, a high-end tropical storm, still weakening, of course, as it's interacting and it's over land. Max sustained winds right near the center of 70 miles per hour, a few gusts potentially up to 85 miles per hour. There's a look at its track, made landfall very early this morning. It increased to a Category 4, strengthened to a Category 4, then had an eyewall replacement cycle and briefly dropped down to a Cat 3 as it made landfall, and has been weakening ever since. That's going to arc out into the Atlantic, likely remaining a tropical storm for the days ahead as it moves away from the U.S. Around here, we have a few isolated showers, generally over the hill country. Another look at these and, of course, what low humidity means for us tonight and into tomorrow morning. Right now we're near 103 in Floresville, 96 Mico, 101 Lavernia, but a bit refreshing, I think, for some tomorrow morning. We'll get into that in a bit.
All right, we'll see you then, Adam. In your health headlines tonight, first heroin, then fentanyl. Now leaders are worried about a new drug fueling the U.S. opioid epidemic. They are called netizens. People on the street, though, call them Frankenstein. A new study shows the drug is 10 times stronger than fentanyl. Researchers say patients who overdose on Frankenstein opioids often require 2 or more doses of naloxone or Narcan to survive. Fentanyl doses usually just need 1 dose. Now researchers say doctors and law enforcement need to be prepared for that drug.
And it's an ever-changing problem. Local law enforcement is preparing for what is to come. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office explaining only to KSAT 12 about the new way it's fighting fentanyl. It is unveiling a new policy that changes how deputies respond to these overdose cases. The point is to save more lives. You'll get the exclusive story. It's tonight on the Nightbeat.
All right, let's take a look at your evening commute out there on this Wednesday, looking at I-10 and Roland, possibly traffic that is caught up in that investigation involving the shooting there with SAPD and that man. So slow going over there at I-10 and Roland tonight.
Straight ahead on the news at 5, NASA does know a thing or two about breaking the sound barrier. how the agency is now working with Lockheed Martin to make commercial air travel just as fast.
And anticipation building to see the newest iPhone. Apple gearing up for the big reveal, when the company expected to debut it. Next.
I'm Myra Arthur with a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. The state shut down a child placement agency after a slew of problems were reported. Texas Health and Human Services issued an intent to revoke Lone Star Social Services license back in June. But months before that, former employees say they stopped getting paid, reporting that foster families were facing the same burdens.
When was the last time you were paid from Lone Star Social Services?
In April 20th.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, the mismatched narratives from the state and from Lone Star. And she feared for her life. That's what Sasha Scar told a jury this afternoon in her own murder trial. She is accused of killing a San Antonio rapper. What she claims happened the night that Martel DeRuin was fatally shot. And state law allows parents to surrender their newborn babies if they can't take care of them, but not everyone does that safely. How an upcoming change to the law could make the process easier and safer for parents struggling with that decision, and how city funds will play a part. All that and more today on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. Apple set to unveil its newest products for the upcoming year. Tech experts expect that Apple will flaunt the new iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro in front of cameras in 2 weeks at its annual unveiling event. The new device is expected to feature a longer-lasting battery, faster charging, and a better camera. Plus, Apple will offer customers more color choices for their iPhones. The company also expected to introduce newer versions of its Apple Watch and Apple Watch Ultra.
For those of you who remember the Concorde and its supersonic transatlantic flights, NASA now wants to restore sound barrier breaking commercial travel. Take a look at the X-59, built by Lockheed Martin. It is a test aircraft that's part of NASA's Advanced Air Vehicles program. Its objective is to improve high-speed travel. NASA thinks it could one day make the New York to London flight in as little as 90 minutes. That's half the time it took the Concorde, and it means the plane would travel more than 3,000 miles per hour. Supersonic flight is currently banned over the U.S. because it produces those disruptive sonic booms. The X-59, though, is supposed to be able to produce booms that are much quieter. The last Concorde flight was 20 years ago now, back in 2003. Seems like yesterday.
20 years ago. Yeah. That's incredible. I'll take a sonic boom to get to London.
90 minutes?
That's okay. All right, we're taking a look outside, and yes, what you are seeing here and there are showers. Nice, Adam.
Yeah, it's good to see even some natural shade coming from the clouds that we have overhead. Let's get right to the radar and look at where we have some of the few lucky showers. And I say few, I emphasize few, because there really isn't a whole lot out there. But you look just to the northwest up I-10 near Comfort. One lucky downpour there could get a quick 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch, and just east of Bandera, another nice little downpour that's pushing southward toward Medina Lake Reservoir, and then off to the west in parts of the hill country, Edwards County, Rial County. Some hit or miss splash and dash. And here's a look at how much rain fell, according to Authority Radar, where you see the bright greens. That's radar estimates of at least half an inch. The darker greens are radar estimates of an inch. And there are parts of Edwards and Kinney County where we have radar estimates of an inch or more. This is it, though, I'm afraid. No chance of rain, just sunshine. Tomorrow through the weekend and even into next week, a few coastal showers could pop up early next week. And then by Wednesday, we have a 10% chance locally. So let's talk temperatures. 101 today, record 103. So we missed that by 2 degrees. And today marked our 63rd 100-degree day so far this year. An all-time record, and we keep tallying them up. Dew points down in the 50s, even in some cases, dew points down in the 40s. Natural mixing in the afternoon, drier air aloft mixing down, along with that light north breeze from that weak cold front several days ago, has our dew points so low, and they're going to stay low overnight. Just like last night, we don't have the sea breeze coming in after sunset. In turn, it's going to stay comfortable in terms of that humidity overnight. Dewies down in the 50s all night. And remember, that drier air cools off more efficiently. So get ready for another pleasant morning. 60s in the Hill Country, even just west of town. Sabinal 67, Bernie 67, San Antonio 73 degrees for the low temperature. So kind of like what we had earlier this morning. Another pleasant start to the day. 94 at noon, though. 102 the high temperature. A lot of sunshine, just a few fair weather clouds into the afternoon, and east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Notice high temperatures again, triple digits. Canyon Lake 101 along with Comfort, Hondo, Divine 101, Pleasanton and Floresville 103 for afternoon highs. As we go through the weekend, Friday through the weekend, right around 100, probably even a degree or so above. And those mornings will gradually get warmer as that sea breeze kicks back in, starting again tomorrow evening and thereafter. But triple digits continue to be the rule.
All right, Adam, thank you.
All right, Larry, we now know what the Spurs preseason schedule looks like.
Yeah, so training camp for the Spurs will start late September. Then not long after that, they're going to open up their preseason schedule on the road. They have 5 games, so we're going to have that schedule for you coming up. Plus, in Cardinal football, oh man, they're ready to face another team starting on Saturday coming up.
I'm excited for it. All my teammates are excited for it. Just to all be unified again, offense and defense, and go out there and play somebody else in a different color jersey. It's a great opportunity. We're excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the country at this point in time is ready to hit somebody other than their own color. So I'm excited for those guys to get to do that. They're fired up, and we're to that point. It's here now.
The UIW Cardinals are ready to kick off their season in big board sports. The San Antonio Spurs today announced their 2023 preseason schedule. Now we know when Wemby and the guys will suit up ahead of the regular season. The Spurs will play 5 preseason games, 2 on the road, 3 at home in the month of October. Adding overall #1 draft pick Victor Wembanyama to an already fine core of young players. And this season promises to be one of the Spurs' more anticipated in recent memory. So they'll start their preseason October the 9th at Oklahoma City. Then they'll come home for 3 straight games, October 13th, 16th, and 18th, when they'll face the Heat and then the Rockets in back-to-back games. And they'll close out their preseason October 20th in San Francisco at the Golden State Warriors. Over at the University of the Incarnate Word, the Cardinals are in game week mode as they get ready to kick off their season Saturday at the University of Texas at El Paso, a.k.a. UTEP. The Miners and Cardinals have faced each other once back in 2015, and UTEP won that game 27-17 at the Sun Bowl. Incarnate Word first-year head coach Clint Killow had 2 receptions for 36 yards on that Saturday. The 30-year-old Killow hopes to follow in the footsteps of former UIW head football coaches Eric Morris and G.J. Kinney, who both took the Word to new heights. This is now Killow's program, and he's ready to rock behind transfer quarterback Zach Calzada.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for our program. Anytime, you get to go up and play an FBS opponent and showcase what you've been working on for so long. There's a lot of hours that goes into these guys. Obviously, they have their requirements as students, but they have requirements as athletes as well, and they put a lot of work into this. It's a 24/7 job, and I'm excited to get them this opportunity.
Our expectation is just to go out and do our job and do it to the best of our abilities. And, we have, us as players, we have confidence in our game plan and what our coaches have put together for us, and it's just our job to go out and execute.
The Cardinals will look to execute their game plan Saturday night at 8 at UTEP.
It is time.
It is indeed.
Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back. All right, this is the problem spot, or at least one of them in the city. This is I-10 at Probant, right where that police active scene was taking place.
That's all of our time. We'll see you back here for the local news at 6.